Hello and welcome to this segment of Joy in Our Town. I'm your host, Felicia Taylor. Joining me in studio is Dr. Cheryl Davis, and she is the Executive Director for Gift of Life Foundation. Dr. Davis, we'd like to welcome you to our show.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, we are excited to have you. And of course, when it comes to the Gift of Life Foundation, we want to talk about the programs that you offer, which are so important to mothers, especially those that are from low-income situations right here in Montgomery and the River Region area. So just want to find out actually how you became involved with the Gift of Life Foundation.
Well, it's a very interesting story. Actually, I knew it was time for a change, and I was praying and asking for directions, and God spoke to me and wanted me to work with women.
Oh.
And I had not heard of Gift of Life Foundation, and I just happened to be on a website and saw the announcement, and went to the website, read about the agency, and went, oh, this is it. This is where I'm supposed to be. And
So it was that
history.
tug and that calling.
That calling, yes, definitely.
Oh, that is awesome. And I know coming from the college life or being an associate dean in a veterinary school of medicine at Tuskegee University, that was a transition, but to follow the call of God is a great thing.
Yes, definitely.
So let's talk about some of the spiritual significance when it comes to the Gift of Life Foundation. We know that we're dealing with infant mortality, pre-birth, and all sorts of things, but just from a spiritual standpoint, how does that affect or come into play when we're talking about Gift of Life Foundation?
When it comes to looking at the whole person, the person as it relates to their health, their environment, their self-esteem, and when you think about a gift, a baby, that is the most precious gift anybody can have. And everybody wants a perfect gift, this healthy gift, the baby that's coming in full term, with all fingers and toes and everything, but that doesn't happen to everybody. And so when that doesn't happen, it takes a mental, emotional, and a financial toll on the person. And so therefore, as the Gift of Life, we want to make sure that there's a healthy gift that's given to the mother and to the family.
Yeah. Why do you feel that there's an issue or a cause for concern when it comes to infant mortality here in Montgomery and the River Region area?
Well, infant mortality actually is an indicator of the health of the community. So when there's a high infant mortality rate, then we look at the health of the community is not healthy. So it affects everything. It affects the socioeconomic status. It affects education, productivity. And so that means that our community is not healthy when we have a very high infant mortality rate.
And what are we looking at as far as numbers when it comes to that?
Well, for Montgomery County, the infant mortality rate is 9.3. However, it's not the highest, but it's not the lowest either. And so there are counties that are much higher than Montgomery. As far as preterm birth, unfortunately, Montgomery County as well as the state of Alabama both received Fs as from the March of Dimes.
And so when you, and I hate to interrupt you, but when you say receive an F, nothing good sounds good about an F, so expound on that.
That means that our rates are higher than the national average. For Montgomery County, it's around 11%. For the state, also around 10%. For the national, it's around 8%. So when we look at those numbers, and when we say preterm birth, that is birth before 37 weeks.
Okay. And so when you're having those premature births, it's usually an indicator that most of the time the mom has not taken care of herself during the pregnancy.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay.
There are a number of factors that will cause this. It could be the age of the mother, either very young or very old. The health of the mother. It could be access to care. The mother not being in care. It could be the environment, toxins that may be around that may cause problems. So there are a number of things that would lead into the infant mortality rate.
Okay. Let's talk about some of your other programs that you offer, because I know when you're able to offer these programs to low-income families, first of all, is there a fee involved in that?
No.
Okay.
All the services are free of charge to all of our clients.
And that is awesome. So let's talk about the 3 family coaching programs that you have, because as we know, when you impact a community, and we know knowledge is power, the word even says, "And all thy getting, get understanding." So let's talk about those programs.
Okay, we have one nurse family partnership program, and that's staffed with our registered nurses. And we also have parent as teachers. That's staffed with our licensed social workers. Both of those programs are home visitation programs where they're one-on-one in the home with the mother and families, guiding the mother through the process of pregnancy and through parenting, through age 2 of the child. And so that one-on-one connection, connecting the mother and the family with resources that they may need, letting them know what to expect throughout the pregnancy, before, after the birth, and some tips on getting the child ready for kindergarten, because one of the things that we emphasize is connection bonding, reading to the child. So we do provide books for reading and encourage the mother to read to the infant, to the fetus, as well as to the infant. Our mobile family coaching program is a sort of a flexible program, because we know all mothers, some may work and they don't have the time for the home visitation. So it starts off with a home visitation, but then the communication is via text message, phone calls, Skype, FaceTime, but it's still that one-on-one connection, and that's so very important.
Yeah, and anytime we're going through anything in life that would cause us to be at a disadvantage, to know that there's help out there,
Yes.
it makes a world of difference.
It does,
Yeah.
definitely.
So with your coaches that you have and your social workers and all of those, is there some type of vast training that takes place before they're partnered with these mothers?
Yes, all of our staff are trained, and these are evidence-based national programs. And so, yes, the Nurse Family Partnership, there's a training in Denver for all of the nurses, and for parent as teachers, they're training. It's very different places in the country, but there is a parent as teachers training for all of them. And I just got back from parent as teachers training myself, and I will go through the Nurse Family Partnership training.
Okay. Tell us, why gift of life? I mean, the way you explain just the name, the gift, life, we think about life and life in abundance, and that's how God wants us to live. But what makes your program so unique or different than any of the other programs?
In addition to the fact that we have our professionals, our registered nurses and licensed social workers, and we're using evidence-based curriculum, but we have the best staff in the nation. They love their jobs. They're very passionate about what they do, and they're going the extra mile to make sure that their clients' needs are met.
For you personally, I understand when we have a calling, and I know that we have to do what God is telling us to do. But from a personal standpoint, how has being a part of Gift of Life affected you?
You know, it's really looking at the needs of our community. It's one thing to teach about it, to read about it, but when we experience it and we can see the change in a person as they move forward through life, it's very rewarding to be a part of that change, to be a part of an organization that really at the grassroots level, getting involved with the women, with the families, and helping them to succeed.
And, you know, I think from a standpoint of education, prevention services, and I know that you guys offer all of those. I'm sure at times there may be a challenge here or there, because when you're talking about moms from low-income areas, the education's not always there.
Right. And we do have other agencies that we partner with that we refer to. So if there are needs that we cannot meet, then we will refer to an appropriate agency to make sure that the need of the mother is met.
How do you track these mothers? And when I say how do you track them, I know that there's the before the birth, as they are having the child, after birth. What services are provided, or how do you track the moms to make sure not only that they're staying healthy, but that their infants are healthy? I mean, proper ways to just do everything when it comes to taking care of that infant.
Well, At each visit, there are goals that are set by the mother, and the coach is responsible for monitoring the goals, and they have conversations about the goals to see that they're on track. And plus, there are also screenings that take place at each of the visits to make sure that the baby has the vaccinations that are needed, that the mother is making sure that she keeps her appointments. So through all of those visits, they are tracking the progress of the mother and the baby.
Dr. Davis, if you had an opportunity just to even share with our listening audience one experience or encounter that you've seen or even may have heard of prior to coming that shows the success of Gift of Life Foundation, what would that be?
Actually, I met a mother at an agency, and I was introduced to the mother, and she had a stillborn, and she had a stroke after the stillborn, and she was able to recover after going through the program, and she is now a family coach at another agency. And there are many other success stories that we have. But just to see a woman overcome obstacles, barriers, was a mother that I was told about who is now in a community college. A teenage mother who had to overcome a number of barriers. And we have a number of our clients who do not have the support at home. And so we become that support to help them to move forward. So that is very rewarding to hear about those stories and now to actually see them and witness them.
Absolutely, and I think that is awesome. I personally experienced my first birth was a stillborn, and it's traumatic in so many ways, and to have those coaches there after that process is key, because I don't think if I had them, I wouldn't have my 12-year-old today. And it's key, and I'm thankful for organizations like Gift of Life Foundation. So thank you so much for being with us, and we appreciate all that Gift of Life offers.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you all stay tuned to the next segment where we will have more from Gift of Life Foundation.